A popular destination for tourists on the Aegean coast of Turkey is Ephesus. This theater is the Roman theater. It was the site of dramas and later on gladiatorial fights, and was also the site of a major riot when the Apostle Paul came to Ephesus. When he preached Christianity, it was a threat to the artisans who made their money selling small copies of one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. What remains of the library at Ephesus is this magnificent facade. There was a city on this spot going back to 1,000 years BC, but the final death knell to this city was the silting of its harbor. It's now 4 to 5 kilometers from the Aegean. At one time, the population of this city was as much as 400,000 or 500,000 people. It was originally a Greek colony, later a Roman city, and then later on the second most important city in Byzantium. For an additional entrance fee, you can go into an area where they've done additional archaeological excavation of a residential area. The houses are just really piled one on top of another, and what was once a large house is then later on divided into many smaller houses as the city starts to decline. One of the things you can see is some of the original mosaic floors which have been restored. To the east of Ephesus, you can find the city of Hierapolis and the hot springs of Pamukkale. The ground at Pamukkale looks as if it's covered in snow, but it's actually covered in calcium deposits left after the runoff of the water heavily rich in minerals from the hot springs. Old Roman baths or Greek baths still exist in the area, as well as new baths where people can take advantage of the hot springs. People have been enjoying the hot springs at least for 2,000 years. And tourists still enjoy them today. One interesting feature is how the many different pools are naturally terraced down the hill. The day of my visit, I'd have to say that the hot springs were not so much hot as lukewarm, but it's still a beautiful sight. And then right next to Pamukkale is the ruins of the town of Hierapolis. In addition to a relatively well-preserved forum and some ruins of basilicas, Hierapolis also has one of the best preserved necropolises from the time period. Necropolis, City of the Dead, is covered with mausoleums. You can practice reading your ancient Greek. One thing you'll notice, even if you don't read ancient Greek, is that there is no spaces between words in ancient Greek. And both of these places are near the city of Izmir, the modern city of Izmir, with its beautiful cafes along the coast. And its walk along the coast is the easiest way to access them, flying into Izmir and then renting a car and driving to Ephesus and then on to Hierapolis, which is a much further drive away.